All right, 51 past the hour. Time now for the must-read opinion pages. Maureen Dowd writes in the New York Times, "Cat on a hot stove." As Mark Twain said, we should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it and stop there, lest we be like the cat that sits down on a hot stove lid. She will never sit down on a hot stove lid again. And that is, well, but also she will never sit down on a cold one anymore. And if Obama is anything, he's a cold cat on a hot stove. Washington is surpassingly nutty right now, but the Founding Fathers did build a system designed for factional warfare. When sweet reasonableness doesn't work, Obama's default position is didactic disdain. He underuses the fear and charm cards. When he first saw the White House movie theater, he was surprised. There were so many seats beyond what the first family would need. Bill Clinton, on the other hand, probably would have built a balcony and auctioned off seats if he could have.
Sam Stein, what do you think?
Well, I think there's a mythology about, that there's a formula that a president can use between charm and, carrots and sticks, basically, that if he just used the right formula, everything would go his way. This isn't a science. It's tough. Obviously, there's been times when Obama has not charmed well enough, and there's been times where he hasn't stood his ground much. But each situation presents its own challenges. I think he would argue, or the administration would argue, that drawing tough lines in the sand over the shutdown and debt limit produced the favorable results.
So,
and then there's other cases where you don't have to draw tough lines.
So, Mark Halperin, does the president pour on the charm now? I mean, so many of his most ardent supporters are just so insulted if you ever suggest that the president pick up the phone and call people in the Senate on either side and work the phones hard like LBJ.
Well,
all the data I have suggests that, remember, he tried that. He had a couple of dinners with Senate Republicans. All the data I have is the president relearned the lesson he felt he learned in his first term, which when he does it,
he gets
nothing happens. And so why bother?
Why
not do other things to try to put pressure on to make it change? He may be able to take the victory he had in this last round and go a different route than the schmooze route, but there's still a lot of official Washington thinks he should try again.